I started learning English when I was in junior middle school. I had talent for mathematics, but for English, I just couldn't find any ways to learn it well. I was quite disappointed. I could still remember the first English word that I spoke were Jam and Gwing, Jim Green, the famous character in the textbook. When I went to high school, I was under intense pressure, so I decided to learn English well. I spent most of my time in doing English exercises, reading English aloud every morning, and listening to English songs, English tapes every night. I tried my best to understand those obscure names like subjectives, verbs, objectives. But finally, I failed. I was still quite average. That even affected my college entrance examination. However, when I went to university, I was still very positive. I had a positive outlook for my life. I was determined to learn English well, so I made English my second major. I met two English teachers. They are very important in my life. And one teacher told me, Zlando, you should focus on reading, translation practices, and learn English grammar again. So I follow his advices. I spend a lot of time on intensive reading, word by word, line by line. I did a tremendous amount of translation practices. I could say after 2 years, I literally became the master in English grammar and I accumulated a large vocabulary. That worked. And my second teacher told me, Zlando, you should be more courageous. Seize every opportunity and talk to those native speakers. So I forced myself to attend those English corner every Friday nights. I went to those shopping malls to capture those native speakers, even just had a short conversation. But that was super crucial because that boosted my confidence. And my teacher often told me, Zlando, you should expose yourself into a pure English environment. But this is China, so how? So I was watching English TV series every day. I was so eager to find those online platforms and talk to those native speakers. However, that was 12 years ago. That was nearly impossible. Not like you today, you have a tremendous amount of apps or platforms like Cambly I've been using for 2 years. On Cambly, you can find so many native speakers. You can talk with them. You can practice your spoken English. And some of those English tutors are professional IELTS teachers. And some of them are just simply businessmen. So, these conversations could be really, really interesting. And you can have some English courses there. You just need to spend 400 yuan a month. You can have more than 10 times to talk with those native speakers.
I'm 55 and I think I still like to think positive, even though I realize there's a lot of bad things that happen and, of course, have happened in my life. But I think it's always good to keep a positive attitude.
When I graduated from university, I really had this confidence, but also this capability to interact with native speakers. In 2018, I went to Germany. I was studying German there. But also, I was studying English with two British teachers. But I want to say, I wasn't learning English there. I was using English. Using English to express my point of view, using English to debate, to show the charming places of China, to listen to other people's opinion. That kind of feeling, was really different. So, guys, this is my story. I often say, and I really want to say it again, learning languages is not easy. It's a long-term process. Maybe finally you still cannot master this language, but the most important part is during this journey, you're going to see the beautiful scenery. You're going to meet the interesting people. You're going to find the charming places. That's really important. So I hope my story could be inspiring and helpful. I hope you guys can learn English well. And see you guys next time. Bye bye.